Well, happy Monday, everybody. Let's get this started in our normal way here. And here you go. Now that we have the volume up, sorry about that. All right. That's enough of me getting my happy on there. Oh, let's see. We're doing. Oh, camera. Yes, it's all good. Well, hello, everyone. Mexican Spec, Mr. Bird, Kerosene Cucumbers, Lumpy. What's going on, buddy? Matthew Ward, Josh Holman, Roy Miller, KJ Kiley, Robert Meyer. Fellas, what's going on? I don't know why I'm so dark. Maybe the camera will even out here in a minute. But anyway, Eric Wilson, Buddy Carpino, KJ Kiley. What's happening, everybody? It was a snow day. Well, not really a snow day. It was an ice day here in Tennessee, which means nobody went anywhere because lots of ice. And the Cadogo Beagle Bob. What's going on, guys? But it was, this morning everything was covered in ice. And then we had another half inch of snow on top of all that. It was only about 20, but the sun came out. And most of the side roads that I used today, because we went to the store to get a couple things, wasn't bad. So yeah, it's off to work tomorrow. Johnny C, Nordic Warrior, welcome. Hey, everybody. And went to the store, came out, somebody hit my car, left a nice dent in the front fender. So that was nice. Get that fixed this week. And it's been cold. Nordic Warrior, yeah, I'm cold. We're cold here too. It was like you got up to like 22 today or something like that. Tomorrow's supposed to be 36, so a lot of this other stuff will melt, and we'll get back to normal in a few days. It's gonna be cold for a while, but we'll be fine. Granddad Junk, what's going on? Robert Lawrence, Mexican Spec, I seen you were the first one in. You might have dropped out and came back. What's going on, buddy? Thanks for being here. And so what went on? Made that video call out for Tony with a truck I got here. It's doing some service work on it and things like that. It needs some fuel pump work and whatnot, but that's what runs and can do this off-road event at this time. And I'll get that. I have to drop the tank, and it's I don't have any more room in the garage, so it's outside. So that'll probably be maybe midweek, maybe by the weekend. We'll warm up a little bit, be able to get the tank down and get his pumps rewired back up properly. Yeah, all waiting for Tony's answer to the video, which is fine. I'm sure he didn't go anywhere today, so because everyone was encouraged not to travel today unless absolutely necessary. But tomorrow's a different story. I already got the email that work will be open tomorrow, and I'm expected to be there. So we got 5 degrees. Eric Wilson. We're at 5 degrees and 26 and a half feet of snow. Woo. Yeah. And then so my back garage where I have most of the motor for the El Camino was definitely yesterday, and most of today was just, it was even with the heaters on, it was just, I'll wait for this week, a couple days, because what we have to do with that, what you didn't see off camera so far is I got the block cleaned second and third time, cleaned up the deck surfaces, blew out all the oil holes, and all that kind of prep work for reassembly. And I have to clean the pistons, put the piston rings in, and then do some reassemble. So I got a little bit of work yet to do. So all that kind of stuff. 2.5. Oh, okay. 2. Oh, not 20. Oh, the and because I'm old. I got bad eyes. The and symbol looked like a 6. So 26 feet of snow. Impressive. Oh, 2.5 feet of snow. That's what we're supposed to get here. All last week they were like, "Oh, it's going to be a big storm." And it went from 1 to 19 to 26 to 3 to 1 to 26 inches, and we ended up getting about 3 here at the house. Over in East Tennessee, they got like 19 inches. Parts of Nashville, which I'm south of. I'm south of Nashville and east a little bit. So in Nashville, which is north and a little bit west, lots more ice. Half the people without power. And cars in ditches, trucks running into bridges, knocking down signs, just shutting down freeways. Oh, it was just a mess. I'm just like, nope. I stayed home. Third day in the house today. We got out, like I said, for a little bit. I got out earlier and was just putzing around outside till I got tired and came back in. Or I didn't get tired. I got cold and came back in. And let's see what's going on in the chat here. Beagle Bob said, "Oh, Beagle, you sent me your new car. Nice, the Camaro. Ooh, nice. That's like what my front fender looks like after I went to the store." Let's go down to, okay, we have to go here and here. I wonder if we can still do this here, if it's faster. Share screens. Nope, it's the same. Okay. Anyway, here's Bob's new Camaro. Let me make this. Come on, machine, play along with me. What are we doing here? Yep, I can make it bigger. Hang on. No, not that big. Center in the screen. There we go. Nice. SS Camaro. White with black stripes. Got the chromes on it. That's a good looking, fun car. Tell us a little bit more about it, sir. Have you driven it? Is it fun? Does it make big noises? Does it do burnouts? All that kind of stuff. We all want to know. Tell us a little bit more, sir. Robert Lawrence, 9 inches of snow, -2 this morning. Yay. And bring a brother. Hi, granddad. For building cool snow forts. Yeah, but it was so cold here. All the snow was like fluffy, so it didn't pack up well. Yeah, that's a lot. Just another day here in Minnesota. Yeah. Look at all that. I live in New Mexico. 2.5 inches is causing accidents. It's caused a lot of accidents here too. People were told to stay home, do not travel, and then people still went out. Mostly young guys in their pickup trucks because I got a truck, I can do this. And then they went out and they got in ditches and things, and the cops were posting up. They're like, if you're out in a parking lot doing donuts and you hit a tree or you go in a ditch, you're on your own. Ice storms suck, yes. Got less than an inch in Knoxville. Really? Okay. Did you get all this ice too, or no? Ice storms are more dangerous. Passenger looks about to have a spare driver fender, though. Cool. Vertical photo. It worked well. You're participating, sir, like everyone else should, and send me photos. But we'll get to that. Well, we had a pretty good ice storm last spring here in northern Michigan. Lost power for about 2 weeks. That would not be fun. Granddad's, that's a nice car. Trying to buy some Lambo Camaro lights that Moto makes. Oh, okay. For your green machine there, sir. What light the tires with these? I would think so. That's what I want to know. I want to know if he's got out and done burnouts in the thing yet. couple of weeks ago, I mentioned that Le Mans dressed as a judge with low op. People are pulled it off the chart only, needs tires, all fluids, been off the road a few years. Oh, okay. All right. Car is buffering. What's going on, Jeff? Running. Completely stuck. Little ice. Running out of gen set up here. Oh. I was ready to run mine. I went and got a big 5-gallon thing of gas and stuff like that, and then womp womp. We're good here. Everybody north of me, which you are. Fun fact today: the Tremec transmission is based in Mexico. Huh. Okay. Pretty bad internet right now up in the boonies as well. Yeah, ours went out at the house here once or twice yesterday, once today. But I got power and stuff like that. I'm just trying to keep my pool warm enough. Yeah, I know. Group in Wisconsin used to ride my dirt bike in the snow. What a freaking blast that was. We're in Wisconsin, sir. There's myself and a few people in here from there. Jerry Van says, hey, all. What's going on, Jerry? Nice of you to be here. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. So, yeah. Hang on. So this week, we'll go back tomorrow. Of course, we do Wednesday night with Tony. Hopefully, I can get into the garage, get some stuff done there this week, get it warmed up enough. Madison, Baraboo, then the Dells. Oh, okay. Anyone here from Kenosha, Wisconsin? No, but I was born in Milwaukee, but that's why I left there, because it's cold. Jerry, man, it's runs. He's up in Green Bay. Jeff Brower, was from Muskego. Yeah, there he goes. Just popped it up there. Yeah. So a bunch of people either lived up there or made their way through there at one time. And then if it warms up in Tony's shop this week, which he just has a little heater, so it's got to be, at least 40, 45, 50 degrees outside to do anything in that shop. We got some brakes for the dragster. We'll get those all installed and put in and bled down and stuff like that, which will be fun because the calipers are up here and the master's down here, so you have to bleed up and then attach the hoses onto the calipers and push them back into the master, make it one big circle. It's a pretty cool setup. The GTO low oil pressure, and then sometimes it will drop to zero. Besides the sump falling into the pan, was there other carnage in there? The motor itself had been built too tight, so it destroyed the main bearings. Oh. Well, if the sump falls into the pan, it's going to destroy the bearings. Yeah. We got it figured out. It was, sump, not. There was a song that fell into the pan. Rocket Man. He fell into the pan and burned up my bearings. Two-strike destroy. So you got multiple things going on. So sounds like it's time for a new Pontiac engine. Eric Wilson lived in Wisconsin for a year when I was 5 years old. Okay. Hate working cold weather. Really get lazy. I hate working cold weather. I usually go inside. Then I don't get anything done if it's outside stuff to get done. But Oh, fun with cars. Added a 100,000 BTU heater in the garage 10 years ago. It was the best $700 I spent. It was -7 outside, but I had the garage up to 67. 100,000 watt 100,000 BTU heater. Wow, is it like you like actually like have a living dragon in your garage, and you squeeze it and it goes and flames shoot out and the whole place comes up to temperature because 100,000 watt BTU heater is a lot, but that's nice. Oh, where is my banner? Dang it! Dang it! Oh boy, is that bad? What's going on with the banners tonight? It doesn't give you any options or anything. Well, boo on you, StreamYard. Okay. Anyway, it's up there. It's definitely a project now. My buddy is trying to get the motor so he can build it himself. Oh, okay. Heading to the UP of Michigan on Thursday. So if you think it's cold here, no, I don't want to go there because my daughter still lives in Oshkosh, right by where the fly-in is, sir. And she's like they're like at like 7 degrees all week for a high, so every night's like below zero. And I know you'd like to go up there snowmobiling, but whew. And I guess you made the right call going to Florida last week or a week before. Good call. I think it's a Mr. Heater brand. Hangs from the ceiling and vents through the roof. Yeah, I don't have gas out to my garage, but I have big electric, and I got Jerry actually gave me an electric heater that I can run in which is now the front garage. And it does help quite a bit. When it's just cold, not much. That the garage itself is insulated good. It's just I have cheap doors. Actually, my doors suck on my big garage. They just suck. They need to be replaced with actual doors instead of just a thin sheet metal roll up thing. Or at least put like what do they call them? Brush seals in them, to keep some of the dirt and weather and everything out of them. But yeah, I would really like to put some actual doors on my big garage. It would help quite a bit. Eric Wilson said, I'll be old enough. Wow, okay. Someday, maybe I'll be older enough and colder enough to have my own garage. Yeah. Growing up north was awesome. I'm glad for your experience, but as an adult, the cold and snow is a hassle. I'd never go back. No, I don't. Same thing. I don't complain about growing up there, but I don't want to live and go to work and snow blow and all that stuff. It ruins all your just when you're having fun and here comes the snow. Everybody go inside. Put all your toys away. My shower's water lines froze. Took 26 hours to thaw. That sucks. That sucks bad. But at least it thawed out and didn't break. So you got that going for you. Yeah, my buddy is sourcing a 400 for the car. So that way the car can run for, hey, friend, or something. Typo there. But other than that, this week I'm just looking to survive for a few more days, get worse. Fun with cars. No earthquake, tornado, or hurricanes here in Buffalo. Yeah, but you get it can snow 6 feet. Trickling the water? Yes. Why? Why not? Trickling the water. No earthquake. But brother, it's, it's cold and it snows like crazy there. Friend of mine is one of those waste oil burning heaters for his shop. Works great. It doesn't cost him anything to run. See, I really wanted one of them, but when I was putting up the garage, all the people that sold them, they wanted like $1 million for them. I'm like, it's a, I'll go get one out of an RV, one of them diesel powered, heaters, and just put a good filter system in it and run waste oil and have it burn like it's a diesel. Who makes those? Because once upon a time I worked at an RV shop and I took a class on them. Some kind of heat place, but they're easy. There's like it's got a fan and an injector and a spark plug. It's like a little jet motor, but it just makes heat. And I'm like, and they wanted, well, that's only $14,000 for that waste oil. I'm like, go away. Don't be dumb. Yeah. Yeah, remember frozen door locks? Yep. Windshield wipers frozen to the windscreen? Yep. Engine barely crank, such a pain. Yep. I got the fenders and hood off my Mustang to give me more room to work. I'm going to try to use the factory fuse box for everything on my 302 swapped new Edge on my trailer when I stopped at Kiwis. Yeah, that was a cool car, and I just happened to be over at Kiwis, and Beagle Bob was traveling cross country, stopped to say hi to Kiwi, and so that's a cool car. Yeah, my 302 swap new Edge. Yeah, you shouldn't have any problem with that. There's those few boxes it's pretty simple. Only good thing about getting 2 feet of snow that it doesn't have to cut the grass anytime soon. Yeah. You're a doctor just to get our cable working again. Oh, not that kind of doctor, sir. These fuel lines and exhaust. Had it started with temporary wiring setup. Oh, okay. So you're there. So you're already there. Yeah, nice. So what's happening with everybody out there in TV land here? I did get some, and I haven't posted this up yet. Let me share a picture here. And it's off my phone, so it's going to make the screen go funny for a minute, but everybody will be okay. I had some for the budget El Camino. Okay, I'm going to caveat this because I'm coloring outside the lines a little. I had a set of steel 16-inch wheels and tires that I could have just bolted on there, and they had decent tread. Tires weren't new, but they were basically free, so that would have fit with the budget. And that's what I can claim on my budget. But I got a really good deal on some rally wheels. And 3, 2, 1. There we go. There we go. That's much better. So I got a set of 15-inch rallies and new tires on it right now. Looks good. They'll look real good. They got 2 sets of center caps and rings and stuff like that for them. And that'll look real good on their car once it's painted. Shut up, repairman. Had to do emergency stuff about 10 minutes ago. It had about clipped my friend on off. Now the brakes are making noise. So might have to do the brakes this weekend. Could be. What's going on with diesel deletes? You can do them. Feel free. Bust out your Sawzall and your MIG welder. Get rid of all that crap. Make yourself a nice, happy, straight through pipe, and be dieseling with black smoke and fun, and fun again. And power, and none of the pig juice that you have to put in the overflow. My dad had a white 1967 Buick that the door latches would freeze any open position and not latch shut. That was pretty funny. Yeah, was it GM door latches with the infinite star wheel on thing, and that little paw lock would never come back down because it was frozen. I had a Nova like that. 70, I think it was a 74 because it was a hatchback, big ugly bumper Nova. And if you'd make a left-hand turn real quick, the passenger door would fly open. And I almost lost a girlfriend at one time out. He's like, ah! So I had to kind of grab her by the arm and keep her from falling out. And I straightened out the car and the door closed. But yeah, I understand. Get some one-off HRE 3-piece forge wheels. Yeah, sure. Cost more than the car. Nope. I'm cheap. I got those wheels on closeout, and I got a hookup on the tires, so it didn't really cost me that much anyway. So, Granddad's junk up the road where I live now. I can see a car every day it's getting out of control. Used to be a car once per week. Huh. Should be safe from prosecution until 2028 at least. My diesel is pre-emission, so I'm already set. Oh, okay. Yeah, exactly. Do it now while you can. Get it registered with the state, and then you can plead, hey, that's the way it came. Did you go to 7 day? No. This was, I'm trying to remember. I had previously to that, how did I get that ugly car? I did some trading for that car. I can't remember the sequence now. But it was like a 67 Mustang, a red V8 coupe that I was driving back and forth to work. And one of the guys at work had to have it. Had to. And at this point, this is my 15th Mustang, so I'm like, whatever. I said it's this much, and he said, well, will you take a Nova and X amount of cash? And I'm like, all right, because the X amount of cash was what I paid for the Mustang. So I'm like, money back and a free car. And then I only drove that Nova for probably about 3 weeks. And then I sold it, and then I bought a 75 Oldsmobile Cutlass 2-door W25 T-top swivel seats, the whole thing. Cool car. Anyway, but that was a sequence. So yeah, she made the jump into the new car. So in hindsight, I should have did that, but when you're young, you don't know. I had to laugh at you keeping your girl falling out of the car. Yeah, it was a big scream and the door wide open. Big fun. Should have just pushed that one, but again, I didn't know at the time. Speaking of registrations and crap, suppressors and SRBs no longer have fee associated with the NFA paperwork. That'd be nice. I would like the first thing there. On all my 9mm, because I think that would be fun. Because that's really the only thing that keeps me from, running amok is the noise. And without the noise, I could just run amok and, cause more problems. So I think that might be fun. If I'm being truthful, yes, it's the noise that keeps. I think that's why they purposely make guns noisy, is to keep people from just running around and making all kinds of noise. And well, what's that man doing, making noise with their firearms? Someone put him down. But if you're only making what was that? Turn the TV up, Mildred. It was nothing. Who cares? In Wisconsin in the 70s, we used to heat up a small screwdriver and stick it in the door locks when they got frozen. Then put some WD. It worked every time. Well, what worked better than that too, for us smokers at the time, you get the Cricket lighter, right? Because with the Cricket lighter, it had that little, adjust valve, low to high, low to high, low to high. But you could take that little black ring, push it up, you turn it to high, push it up, and get like 2 other turns out of it and hit that thing, and it would go. And you stick your key in it halfway, and you take your Cricket lighter and go. For about like 10 seconds, and then key in and out, and then 2 or 3 times, and then your doors are open. You have gloves on, so he got hot. Who cares? It's actually about. It's the roofers. It sounds like a nail gun. It's fine. Yeah, we know what Yeah, door lock. Yes, we've all been there. Yeah. Did you see all the anti-gun legislation in the ComUG in Virginia? Yeah, they're just a bunch of knuckleheads. Always my E38. I can't find an input spin specifically for start crank to connect the start input to the ignition switch. Will it have one after the VATS is disabled? If you disable the VATS, you can take the purple wire that's the exciter for the starter and just wire it into anything that comes in when you go to that start position that you can find, and it'll run the starter. I kind of did the same thing on the Ranger, but it's on the relay because it's got a little fuse box relay pad from Michigan Motorsports for the swap, and it made life easy. But an E38, I got one over there. I cannot find the input spin specifically for start to crank to connect to the start output of the ignition switch. Will it have one after the VATS is disabled? Will the ECM have one? If you can't find it now, no. But I don't have an E38 wiring harness in front of me. But just connect that purple wire to the ignition switch. Bypass the whole thing like it's a 74 Chevy pickup truck. And you twist the key or hit the button, and it runs a starter. And as long as you're on and your VATS is turned off, right? Because the key is on, you have your sensors are ready and your fuel pump's running. And if they stay hot when you turn the key, which they should, when you turn the key, it'll excite the solenoid on the starter. The starter will turn and the engine will start. Right? So I wouldn't worry about what the actual connection on the pin is. I don't have a chart with me up. It's down in the garage. But you should be able to find it on that E38 because that runs relays and things like that. Or just, like I said, just wire that purple wire. Find the purple wire that comes up from the starter into the harness. do whatever you got to do to hook it up to that crank signal on the key and just make it a mechanical starter switch. Easy peasy. That's what I would do. Like I said, I don't have an E38 wiring harness in front of me, sir. But it's the best I could do for tonight. In the 70s and 80s, we never locked our doors in Nebraska. Simplifies lock freezing problems. Yeah, when you don't have homeless people trying to sleep in your car, that'd be nice. So just bypass the ECM. Yeah. VATS is turned off. It's like I said, as soon as you turn the key on, the sensors are ready to go. So they're going to cycle the injectors, and as soon as it sees RPM, it's going to turn your coils on. Easy. And that way you can run it through a neutral safety switch and all kind of stuff if you want. I recommend that. I've ran shit into, in other vehicles and into the back of garages more than once because I didn't have a neutral safety switch in the car, and it was, I had it was adjusting something and it was in drive, and I just reach in and hit here, listen to this. The car takes off and smashes in your $6,000 tool locks. It's more you feel like an idiot than anything, but yeah, just like Bob says here, yeah. Cheap Summit brand push to start button fits a cigarette lighter housing. I wired it to a 4-pin relay straight to the starter, bypass the computer and everything else. Yep. Whoever Lords, drop one of those big lighters down the defroster, and it blew up and did a little damage. VATS controls through though, so if you pump in the relay and energize the starter, it will even run with VATS freaking out like a blue-haired harpy. That's Velvy's first in tackle box. Yeah, but he turned the VATS off, sir, so it's a non-issue. And Thumper, you could help out. Who was it? Shadow Ops Airman. He's looking for a Pontiac engine. To bypass the ECM goes direct to starter. Yep, exactly. Hook up a hidden starter button under the dash for an anti-theft device. Yeah, that'll work too. Cars, yep. One reason I live here on the west coast of South Island, I still don't lock things up. It's much nicer not having to worry about getting burgled. Yeah. Turning VATS off with HPT costs money, though. Yeah, or you can use PC Hammer for free. Or I think he did some stuff to it anyway, but it's okay. I hooked up a cigarette lighter as a hidden start switch. Yeah, you just push in the lighter, the old school lighter. Yeah. Yeah, the vehicle's going to be at least a little presentable because I'm planning on selling it. The more you make it silly and unique, you'll latch onto that one guy who wants really something. Unique and weird to start and all that kind of stuff. Thumpers, let Shadow Ops know that there's a guy a couple hours from me who has several blocks, 400, 428, 455. Well, there you go, sir. He's in Houston, so they'd have to travel cross country. But, if you could buy a motor from somebody you can trust, especially being a Pontiac motor, since they don't make them anymore and have them for a long, long time, might be worth the effort. I understand. Fun with cars. Wait, there's free tuning software called PC Hammer? Come on. You knew that. Don't be silly. Yeah, I got a buddy that does a lot with that. He swears by it, but I don't know. I don't like their source code or something. Um, yeah, that's your last resort though. But it's okay. Uh, so like I said, what we got planned. Hopefully, we can. It gets warm enough. We can do a little more work on the block. Um, I can get that big Chevy pickup truck, the fuel tank dropped, and that thing back and running. And then, because right now it's kind of blocking, because my big garage, which leads up to the driveway, on one side there's an RV camper, and then the other side is this truck, and then my other two cars behind that, and then there's three cars in this garage and one in the back garage. So it's there's stuff everywhere. So I gotta get a couple sorted so I can get some little projects done. Only 2,000 miles from Houston to Marquette, Michigan. Afternoon jaunt, yeah. Also, you can't get an aftermarket block. I have one, and they're very versatile. Tad spendy for a daily driver, though. Hmm. I didn't paid $70 to have the VATs turned off. Oh, that's actually pretty reasonable. Car cops, cop car Steve, what's going on, buddy? More folks from Canada in the house. How you doing, buddy? Yep, free is always a plus. Free is always good for me. I like free or other people paying me to do stuff. Adding a VIN to my HB tuner cost me $100 each. Yep, if it's a GM, yeah. That's why I like tuning all the JTech stuff because it's only one credit. It's $50. $50. Getting nickel and dime to death out here. That's right. But let me get a drink. I gotta think if there's anything really amazing going on. No, it's been in the house for 3 days. Made cookies, made bread. Um, that kind of stuff. Um, yeah, like Eric. Yeah, free is always the best brand. Everyone likes free. I specifically like free also. Allegedly, Fastenal has a shipping program for shipping engines reasonably. I never used it, but I heard about it. Yeah, where you take it to like a Fastenal warehouse and they put it on a truck that's headed to another warehouse. And those guys take it and send it to another warehouse till it gets close to you, and then you pick it up at that warehouse or they deliver it to you. I heard about that. Like I said, it sounded like too many fingers on it. Gail Clay, hey Duck, Arizona is the best, and it's only 68 degrees. Yeah, I know. I understand about living in the Southwest. I lived out in Vegas for 13 years. That was nice. Before that, I lived up in the high desert in California. Before that, in my youth, for quite a few years and stuff like that too. So that was I totally understand the desert. I like it sunny 362 days a year. So, but that's a whole another story for another time, another day. So yeah, it was 13 degrees here today. Felt balmy for me. T-shirt weather. I think I've adapted to the minus 20 degree Fahrenheit below. It's amazing how fast you do get used to that stuff. Once your body gets over the shock of the cold, it's like, oh, it's cold again. Oh, okay. Great Arizona for rust-free vehicles. Yeah, Arizona, Nevada. Um, California. You can't really beat those cars. I mean, they're just they're just like new. They're just got miles on them. Vintage Adventure Drive sent me some pics. There we go. Tanner Hudson. Well, these are interesting. There's got to be a story to these, sir. Please elaborate while I pull these up. Share screen. And then put that up here. Add the stage. We can make that a little bit bigger, probably. Whoops. This tab here. That looks like a good time. Those are pretty cool, Tanner. Elaborate on the story behind the pics. Kirk Hamlin in Michigan for low mileage engines. It's very rusty trucks. Yeah, the rust kills them before. That's the thing. Down here in the south, the powertrain dies. They get rid of the cars. In the north, the body dies and the powertrain is fine, and they get rid of the car. So you just kind of meld the two. Arizona, no rust. That thought just blows my mind. First couple pictures taken for an album cover. Nice. My ex-girlfriend took those pictures for me last Sunday. Oh, okay. So is she an ex from between Sunday and now, or just from before? And okay, pretty good. Tanner drinking his sorrows away because he's going to lose in 240 days. Feel like goose. But what else is, what are you guys got going on this week? I think everyone's either they're out west and they're warm and happy and doing stuff, or they're this part of the country and they're freezing their butts off in the middle of winter working on projects when they can. Like I said, I got more than enough to do in the garages right now between my cars and Jeff's dragster and this truck and these El Caminos, and just still putting my Falcon back together, which is such a pipe dream. I don't know why I keep doing that myself. She was next that had me making the album. She broke up with me 2 months ago. Oh, okay. I did send 3 more pics. My other car outside my job. Oh, okay. Well, let's do that then. Let's go to those, sir. And same thing, 21-step process to share pics. So here we go, share screen. Pick the screen you want to share, hit share. Go back to the screen, go back to studio, click on the stage and see if it's big enough. And then always go back to the picture, make it a little bit bigger so people can see it. Make sure you didn't make it too big, click back. Oh, okay, that's maybe just a hair too big, and then we'll go down one size. There we go. There's your winter adventure runner. Nice. That's cool. That looks like a fun car, actually. Converted my Vet to manual brakes. Hope it doesn't suck. My cam is quite large and the power pedal was hard as a brick. Oh, okay. The Willwood stuff and the master cylinders for those are real good for your manual brake options, unless you just do a manual vet master, but then you have to get the manual Corvette brake rod and lever and all that kind of stuff. So the throw is right. It's been so cool. We haven't worked in the shop in 5 days. Takes too long to warm it up. About freezing. So I saved the diesel. Yeah, I might as well if it's that cold. I was thinking about getting my snowmobile fired up, but it uses more gas than anything I've ever owned. Plus, it's so cold outside. Yeah, some of them do that. I had to climb through the window this morning because the light was frozen. An RE F4E. When my ex took off, they became the problem of someone else. Got my life together, have a supercharged Pontiac now. Yeah. Fred Ryan brought one of those up from Texas for a demo derby. We ran it 30 years ago. It was a tank, yeah. It looks like the car from the Rusty Chevrolet music video by the Youpers. Going deep. F4E like a Phantom? Maybe. Or it's just that, or it's just the, whatever it kicks up. But that would be interesting to know. That's a 72 Impala, which is indeed the kind of car in the Rusty Chevrolet video. Yeah, the Youpers are 20 miles from where I live because they're into Yoop. Yeah. Oh. But I don't know. I think this week should be interesting. Once we got, everything would kind of go back to normal tomorrow and the next day. Children will probably go back to school Thursday. It's still going to be cold as snot down here, but yeah, that's okay. There are worse things. So life will go on. Yo, hey there. Hey, holy one. That's a big one, don't you know? Hey. You got to know the language. That's a 30-point buck. That's right. 30. Eric Wilson. Yeah. Make sure you hit the thumbs up, everybody. Yeah. Be cool like Eric. Hit the button. Yeah, grab the manual brake kit for $90 on eBay. Remove the pedal and drill the new hole for better leverage. Okay, cool. The original master cylinder is supposed to be adequate at 7/8. The pedal's super soft. Yeah, it's always a weird thing, changing the manual and getting the master right, and then the proportioning right, and then getting the brake set right and stuff like that. It's never had a whole lot of luck with that, doing monkeying with the factory stuff. If you're going to do manual, I just go to the aftermarket. They just send you the kit. It sucks because you have to pay for it, but it works. I picked up the Youper Speak quite now. I can fit into them, but they don't know I'm mocking them. Nordic Warrior, smash the like button, assault that sucker. That's right. Aren't some countries still using F4s? Yep. Turkey still uses them. Some other bunch of smaller countries still fly them. Yeah. Likely Iran has some still flying. No, they don't actually. They have no more F4s. They have a few F-14s that are supposed to be flyable, but they're just like they're probably just broken and waiting on parts. So it's still flying for now. Now I don't think they've flown their F4s in many years. Their last newest plane that they think is like their oldest vintage hot rod is F-14s, but they're fodder for modern jets, and an F4 would just be like a turkey shoot. So it would be even no point of even trying to fly that thing anymore. And I like them because I used to work on them, but they're just old. They're 60s technology. The only fix that I'm really good at makes certain ethnicity kind of hate me. It's not intentional, but it happens. Yeah, it can. Once I had an entire phone call at work talking to a Southern dandy accent. This is my David O'Reilly's. Yeah. Hope the guy got that math correct. Some guy on YouTube who used to make the same kit says it works better than the OEM brake setup. Okay. You should invite him over and have him show you what's going on. A few years ago back, an F-22 intercepted their F-4s and never knew he was there until he pulled up on their wing. F-4 is my favorite jet. Yeah, they're mine too. Do I have a picture of mine? I did. I used to have a picture of the one that I worked on. It's not up here anymore. Anyway. Hello, everyone. It's Bob's Chop Shop. What's going on, buddy? Thanks for being here, coming in, sliding in sideways the last few minutes, but I appreciate you being here nonetheless. My friend told me his boss taxied his F4 past 1/4 mile of F4E on the Okay, let me read this again. My friend told me his boss taxied his F4 past 1/4 mile of an F4E in the Arizona Boneyard. Niagara 107th International Guard on the tail. It's possible if they're air timed out. Been here for a while. I remember for once. Okay. Jack likes the F-86. Hi, Jack. The doc talked to me today at the VA today. He was a B-52 pilot before he was a doc. He flew over my farm in Nebraska when I was a kid. Nice. Mopar Brunkster. Oh, what's going on, buddy? Yeah, Bunk. How's the weather treating you? Been cold up here in Wisconsin. It's been cold and ice stormy down here too. So, I know it's been brutal up there for you. But then, like the next couple days, it's going to be colder down here than up there for some silly reason. So, not fun. I don't enjoy the cold. That's why I live in the South. Vintage vendor drives like Rod Lobster, beef shape, the B-52s. That's right. Jack says the F-86 was awesome. Yes, it was. Back kind of a bit. All right, Scoop. Cop Car Steve, when I get scammers call me, I pretend to be 90 years old and I keep saying, speak louder, Sonny. Oh, you know what I do? I play them a song because they'll call, right? And they'll be like, hello, right? And they're all on, they're all on little headphones and stuff like that. So you start hitting buttons, right? You probably can't hear that. But if you're wearing headphones on the other end of loud, it's like, yeah. So next time you do that, just say, "Hi, this is Ben from Webfair. I'm just bum bum." And just beep beep beep. Just start playing buttons on your cell phone, and it blows their headphones out. It's big fun. Fun car. My dad was in the 107th, and he loved 8 cities. Used to guard them. Oh, okay. That's a good idea. You have to remember that, yeah. And then you make a game out of it after a while, because on a touch tone phone or a cell phone pad, all the numbers, 1 through 0, they all have a little different note to them. So if you go dee 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 ba ba ba, and you can make up little songs and stuff like that, you can play for the phone hacking people every time they call. But yeah, everyone that does it, and you hit the pound and the star and 0 and dee 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 ba ba ba, and just playing this, but it's in their ears and and they hang up right away. It's big fun. I get mad at them, just play them a song and know that you're blowing out their hearing. Joe Kerr, what's going on, buddy? Thanks for being here. Appreciate it. I like to ask the skimmers what color underwear they have. So I'm surely just okay. So I'm thinking I should just probably bypass the AC clutch relay. Also, then I'd make it less complicated too, which is always a good thing. Yeah, you can, but don't bypass the high side and low side switches, and it'll cycle just fine when you command. Because you'll command it, it'll go through low pressure switch. Low pressure switch sees that there's pressure there, and it goes to the clutch, and it turns the compressor on. And if your high side seems too high, it'll cancel the ground and disconnect the clutch. So just make sure when you do wire it directly, make sure you're wiring it through the high pressure and the low pressure switches, and you'll be fine. Yeah, I seen you there, Joe K. What main rod bearings for an LKQ standard crank, or should I just use the ones that are there? They don't look bad, and crank looks good. Just make sure, because even on some factory motors, some of them are 10 under 20, not so much on the, but just make sure they are standard size. And you're there, dude, put new bearings in. And just, don't buy the cheap ones. Just if you go to the Chevy dealer and get a standard set of crank and rod bearings, you're there, right? And if you check them and they look brand new and you just did one to check them, okay, leave them alone. But if you have stuff apart, put new ones in. Oh God, we used to do that in working in retail. Play the phone pad keys over the store intercom. Yes, that's right. Wendy, line 7. Yes. Okay, I understand now. Okay. Working cargo on a flight, line loading, C-141, C-5s, etc. I would talk like Jimmy Stewart, John Wayne, Batman, and a few others, calling to start and completion times. I was infamous in my unit. Will do. Thank you. Oh, okay. Well, guys and girls, I don't know if any of the girls made it tonight, but that's my hour. That's my Monday night hour. Appreciate all you guys, popping in and chatting in the comments and hitting the like button and doing all the YouTube things that you should do, so I can keep doing this on Monday nights. And we'll see you sometime this week in a video, and if not, on Wednesday night with Tony. All right, everybody. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. We'll talk to you later.